Alchemy is one of the strongest magical arts in all of Oblivion. In this video I'll be going over how alchemy works, how to use the filter, where to find all the apparatus, and much more. If this is your first time on my channel, the way I do things here is I give you all the information you need up front, then later on in the video I dive a bit deeper. So with that, let's get into it. The first thing I want to say is if this is your first time playing Oblivion or you're really early on in the game and you start leveling up your alchemy can level up super quickly, and as you're selling your potions to merchants or such, this can level up your mercantile very quickly as well, which will inevitably over level you in the game because none of your combat skills are leveling up, whereas the world, as you level up, scales with that level, so it will make the game a lot harder if you're a higher level with lower combat skills. So just be warned of this in advance. When it comes to actually making a potion, all you need is a mortar and pedestal, and you can use this from the second you step out of the gate. All you need to do is make your way down to Anvil in this bottom corner at the main gate. From here, you basically run straight ahead into the Mages Guild right here. And if you talk to this lady right here, Kara, what you want to do is join the Mages Guild right there. Say yes, you want to join the Mages Guild. From here, you can basically exit the conversation, and now you're a member of the Mages Guild, and you can grab any of these things. There's a calcinator here. You've got the alembic. You've got the retort, you've got a mortar and pedestal right there, which is all 4 things to make perfect potions. And since you can do this at level 1 straight out the gate as soon as you leave the sewers, this is a quick way to make money, level up alchemy, and do everything you need. So you just take all these. It's not classed as stealing because you're part of the Mages Guild. Now that you have a mortar and pedestal, obviously you need some ingredients to make potions. So the best places to get ingredients is if you come to Skingrad and you go to the Pass Stables, and you look to your right, there's a vineyard where you can pick all the grapes from up here and over there. You can then also fast travel to the east gate of Skingrad, exit the gate and turn left, and you'll see a whole bunch of tomatoes down here on the farm just there. Other great spots are, considering you can run to this place straight from Kvatch, you can fast travel to Kvatch and run to Shetcombe Farm. This is a great farm with a lot of stuff. And another great spot is Odil's farm here. So you can fast travel straight to Coral, run down the road, and you can go to Odil's farm, and he has a lot of stuff as well that you can take. When it comes to farming these ingredients, every 72 hours they will restock. So you can farm all 4 of these places, rest for 72 hours. Sometimes it may glitch out and it might not be there in 72 hours. What I recommend is fast traveling away. So say fast travel to the Imperial City, wait there 72 hours, and then head down to the places that you want to farm these ingredients, and they will all respawn. Of course, if you don't want to farm these, all throughout the entirety of Cyrodiil, you can find ingredients anywhere. There's flowers, there's things everywhere. Plains of Oblivion have heaps of ingredients, so you can just farm it however you want. Now, when it comes to actually making trophies, all you need to do is come down to your novice, mortar, and pedestal, or whatever level you have, click on it, and this will open up the window. So your best friend is the filter up here. As you can see on PlayStation, it's triangle. All you do is, in order to make a potion, you need to have the same effect on 2 ingredients. So as you can see over here, it says it restores fatigue, that little heart over there. So all we need to do is we can go to our filters. Obviously, I don't have any options here. I only have the carrots, corn, leeks, potatoes, and pumpkins, and we're only a novice level. So all I can see is restore fatigue. So in this positive effect, we just come down here and you can click on this. And if you want to get rid of the filter, you just click it again and it removes it. But if we put a filter on, you can then press back and you can put in the ingredients that all have restore fatigue. So we'll go on carrots and we'll go corn, and this will then set it up so you can make a potion. So you only ever need 2 ingredients in order to make a potion. However, you can add more ingredients, all the way up to 4, but having extra ingredients doesn't add to the effect of the potion. As you'll see, I'll put a leek in there and we'll put the potato, and that didn't change the restore fatigue from 5 points or 18 seconds. It stayed exactly the same. So you can remove these just by pressing X on them as well, and it removes the extra ingredients. So we only have the 2 in there now, and from there all you need to do to make these potions is press square or whatever it is on your controller, and that will make a potion. You can basically, once you have all these ingredients here, is just spam that and you'll make hundreds of potions. And once you run out of a certain ingredient, it'll drop off obviously, and then you can just come down here and press on the next ingredient and you can continue making potions. And as you can see, because we leveled up a few times, the restore fatigue potion now goes from 5 points for 18 seconds all the way up to 5 points for 20 seconds. And as you level up, it'll gain potency and strength and duration. This will also increase how much the potion is worth, because as you can see here, you've got the weight of the potion you're making and the price to sell this potion. You can also buy ingredients for alchemy at any place like inns or in the Imperial Market District. If you come here, you can go into the main ingredient, talk to him and go to Borta. You will see he does sell a whole bunch of ingredients as well as mortar and pedestal himself, so you can buy these if you don't want to join the Mages Guild for whatever reason. And if you do buy all of the ingredients, this also resets every 72 hours as well. But as I said before, this can glitch out sometimes, so I'd teleport away from wherever you're trying to get the ingredients. So if you're in Imperial City, just teleport to another city, wait 72 hours and then come back and it should be fine. Another thing to note is the higher level apparatus, so the mortar and pedestal, alembic, calcinator, or the retort. The higher level it is, so novice, apprentice, expert, master, will increase the duration and effect of the potion or make a stronger potion. So they are definitely worth getting as you level up and reach a higher level where they become available. Another thing to note is as you move through the mastery perks, so novice, apprentice, journeyman, and expert, you'll be able to see an added property of an ingredient. So at novice, you only see one property, apprentice, you see 2 properties, journeyman is 3, expert is 4, and then once you hit master rank, you only need 1 ingredient to make a potion, but it only sees the very first property of an ingredient. So what I mean by that is if you come over here, so I am now an apprentice at Alchemy and I can see 2 of the things. So on a carrot, I can see restore fatigue as we had before at novice, but I can also see resist shock. And just to give you guys an idea, if I go to my filter now on this one, I can see all of these positive effects, so I can filter these out to what I want. And there is also the negative effects if we bump over to the other side. So we can pump that and it shows whatever it is. Resist shock, there's only blackberries that have that. You can close that, go to night eye, there's carrots. Whereas if I come down to restore fatigue, we then have pretty much all the ingredients there, and you can do multiple, so you can add these and remove them, which will make it a lot easier to find what you're actually after. Another thing to note is you can just eat your ingredients, and this will also increase your level in alchemy, but it does so at a much reduced rate. So if we just press on the carrot, you'll instantly eat the carrot and it'll restore fatigue. So we'll eat a few carrots and it does actually add to your alchemy, but at a much reduced rate. It's much better to actually use these ingredients to make potions. And the final thing you need to know when it comes to alchemy and making potions is the strength of your potion cannot be increased by using potions to increase your alchemy, or enchanting, or using spells or anything to try and boost your alchemy level, as none of this takes effect into your potions and it will not increase the effect or duration or anything. However, the one way that you can increase your alchemy and the potency of your potions without increasing your actual alchemy is luck, as when you level up your luck, this will in turn level up your alchemy slightly, so this can also increase the potency of your potion, but that is the only other way. So that's everything you need to know about alchemy. If that's all you came here for, please feel free to head off, as I don't want to waste your time. You can also jump to any point of the video you're specifically after using the chapters down below, and if you are heading off, please feel free to either like, comment, or subscribe to my channel, as all of this helps me out immensely. Now let's dive a bit deeper into alchemy. So we'll dive a bit deeper now. So alchemy at its base level is essentially turning the ingredients into a potion. However, in Oblivion, potions are one of the strongest, if not the very strongest, magical arts that you can have. For example, at the highest level with the best ingredients that you can have, a restore health potion can restore 559 of your health, and a restore magicka potion can restore 1872 of your magicka. And you can also get damage health potions, which at the highest level can cause 240 damage to your health, and this amount of course can be tripled using a combination of other damaging effects, which is much stronger than any destruction spell, or the restore health potions are much stronger than any healing spell that you can use in this game. With the added bonus, you can basically spam these things indefinitely or until you run out of potions. So when you're actually leveling it and you reach those next expertise levels, so apprentice, journeyman, you'll see in apprentice you do recognize the first 2 properties of an ingredient, but you also have an additional chance to craft another potion. Once you hit journeyman, you can add more simultaneous effects, so not only can you have restore fatigue, you'll also be able to add night eye or whatever you're after, or light on yourself or something like that, so you can add 2 simultaneous effects to your potions. Once you hit expert, you will always craft an additional potion, as you see there. And as you hit master, you can use 1 ingredient to make a potion, but you'll also get even more simultaneous effects on your potion, meaning you can have 3 effects on each potion. So as you can see now, I'm an apprentice. I've got the 2 ingredients in there being the carrot and the corn, and it now restores 21 points of fatigue for over 68 seconds. So every 68 seconds it'll restore 28 fatigue, and it now is worth 32 gold, so that is increased a fair bit. We can spam these, and so just for example, we can make a whole ton of these and increase our alchemy. And it's as quick as that to level up your alchemy and max it out. So we're now journeyman at alchemy. So that's how quickly you can level alchemy. So when you want to make a potion with multiple effects, you just need to come through and find something that you have 2 or more of. So we'll go through, and as you can see, we've got cure disease. I've got 2 ingredients that do that. So if we add both of them in, we can now make a potion. However, if we do another filter, we'll remove cure disease and we'll find something else that has 2. So cure poison, we put this and this in there. As you can see, we've now got cure disease on self and cure poison on self. So that's all you need to do in order to be able to make a multiple effect potion. And obviously once you hit master rank, you only need 1 ingredient. So you can add those 1 ingredients and it will add those extra effects. Once you hit a higher mastery level as well, you can get 3 effects in here. So if, say, 2 of these 4 ingredients had another effect where it says restore health, you'll also get the restore health effect in there as well. So I wanted to show you how we can make alchemy a very powerful tool when you're actually fighting and cause it to do damage. So we'll go to our filter, we come over to negative effects, and you can set it up to damage health, and then you've got all your ingredients that damage health. So we can chuck this in and this. And as you can see, it's only a small amount now, but 6 points for 24 seconds. That's 6 points every second for 24 seconds. This can be a massive difference when it comes to actually fighting someone. So we create that potion. So as long as you have a weapon on, you've got your weapon, you open up your inventory and you go to your potions, find the damage health, and you click this. This will apply the poison to your weapon. So we go yes. We come out here.
How can I assist you, champ?
We can hit the guard.
Then pay with
and resist arrest. As you can see, his health is going down gradually every second. You can see it dropping. It actually makes a massive difference in game putting these potions on. It is, however, a one-time use, and it's basically gone from your weapon as soon as you actually use that. So if you want to keep adding to this, you'll have to add a potion every time you hit someone. But this can make a big difference, especially if you're fighting something you've been struggling with, like a boss or a harder thing. You can make this potion, chuck it on your weapon, hit him, and at the start of the fight, he'll be losing a massive amount of damage over a long period of time, which will make the fight a lot easier for you. So just to put that in perspective, 6 points for 24 seconds. What's 6 times 24? That's like 144 points of damage that this will do over the duration of the fight, especially if this is a hard boss or something you've been struggling with. It can make a massive difference in that fight. And obviously, as you level up your alchemy and become a higher level in alchemy and get better and better with your higher skills and you have better equipment, this will massively increase the damage and the duration of that effect, making it last a lot longer and do more damage over time. But to add on to this, of course, you can also stack these damages. So say we go damage health, and then if we've got multiple ingredients that we can add, so say fire damage as well, we can add a damage health and another effect of fire damage, which will then escalate the damage we would do with this poison. So this can make these things do a massive amount of damage. Or if you just want to do the damage health and also add in something like damage fatigue or damage endurance or something like that, you can add these multiple effects. So we'll go in with the damage health. So we'll add this and this. And then we'll also add in damage fatigue. So we'll chuck that and that in there. And as you can see, this potion, when applied, will then damage the health for the 144 damage that we said earlier, but it will also damage their fatigue, so they'll be able to hit us less, and basically they won't be building fatigue once it runs out because it'll constantly be doing this for 38 seconds. So these people won't be able to increase their fatigue at all, and you'll be able to win this fight very easily simply by making this potion. One thing to note, however, if you have a negative effect and then you add in a positive effect, So we'll come back over, and just because I know I have it, restore fatigue, we'll chuck in an apple and a blackberry. So this is a restore fatigue as well as damage of luck on self and damage fatigue on self. Because we have this positive effect, we create this potion. As soon as you add a positive effect to a negative effect, it no longer can be applied to a weapon, and it will become a potion that only you can take yourself. So as you can see, this potion, while it does restore our fatigue by 21 points for 68 seconds, it also damages our luck and damages our fatigue. And obviously, if you don't have the master level equipment, these effects won't be 1 point, they'll be much higher, and it will be a bad potion to be taking. So when you're trying to create a poison, you only want to add negative effects to it, and you never want to add a positive effect with a negative effect, or it will be applied to yourself. There is one thing to note, however, when it comes to the weight of the potion you're going to make. So especially if you're on a farm or something and you're over encumbered, if you look at your ingredients and, for instance, you see a blackberry is 0.1 of a kilo, and then something else that restores fatigue is grapes, will come down here, and you'll see grapes are 0.1 of a kilo. However, if you come down here and you find our lettuce is 0.5 of a kilo, and we'll find the watermelons, so we'll roll with the pumpkin, which is 5 kilos, and you've also got watermelon, which are also 5 kilos themselves. If we go into our potion making, we chuck our filter on for restore fatigue to make it easier to find these things. So as you can see, we've got the pumpkin. What we'll do is we'll put the blackberry and the grape, which both weigh 0.1. So as you can see, the weight of this potion will be 0.1. So we'll make this potion, and then what we'll do is we'll remove these ingredients, and we'll come down here and we'll find the pumpkin, watermelon, we'll add that, and we'll add the pumpkin. So as you can see, this potion will now be 5 kilos, which is still lower as you've added 2 ingredients to make 1 potion. However, because we haven't left the screen and we made the potion first with the lighter ingredients, if we make this 1 potion, that's a 5 weight, and then we go back into our inventory here, you'll actually see that you've got the 2 restore potions. However, they've stayed as 1 and they're at 0.1 weight. It can sometimes decide to pick the first potion you make and use that weight for the rest of the potions, as long as you don't change anything or get out of it. So as long as you don't add a name or leave, it will continue to make that potion using that weight, as it considers it being the same kind of potion. However, if we start by making the potions with the heavier ingredients, this can sometimes have the effect of making the potions start out at the heavier weight. So you always want to be careful, and just for safety, start by making the potions out of the lighter weight materials. However, on average, the weight of your potion is generally calculated as the average weight of all the individual ingredients added together. However, of course, when your skill level increases to the point where it will change the potency of the potion, this will of course recalculate the weight, or if you change the name or you get new equipment, this will also change it. So always try when you're starting out just to use the lighter equipment to make the first potion, then you can use the heavier ones after that. So one of the best things about alchemy and having these strong potions is, as you can see, you've got 11 strong potions of healing. The best thing is you can use these indefinitely and as many times or until you run out of potions. So even though we'll spam this, so we've got 11, I'll use 7, and then it says you cannot drink any more potions. All you do is close your window, open it back up, and you can come down and drink another 4 potions, and it'll pop up again. All you do is close it, reopen it, and you can drink even more potions then again. So basically, you'll always be able to keep yourself healed up, and you'll never have to die in a fight as long as you've got enough healing potions, or the same with magicka potions or anything like that. You can spam these indefinitely, or if you want, you can also set these to your shortcut wheel. So you go to show shortcuts, you press L3 on PlayStation controller. We can just chuck this over, say on 8 on keyboard and mouse. So if you're on PC, you can just press number 8 and it'll use that instantly. But in the shortcuts, you can basically spam this. So we'll put that on our shortcut wheel, and we can just go bang and just use this until we run out. You'll never get the warning that you need to stop as you can't do it. As you can see, we've used all 11 and it didn't give us a warning at all. So the only caveat to being able to use unlimited potions is when it comes to potions like the ones we've made that have a duration effect. So anything with a duration effect, you are limited. So as you can see, this one will last 68 seconds. If I spam this and drink the maximum number, which is being 4 potions, doesn't matter if I leave this, get out, I then can't drink any more of them potions or any other potions at all, as because I've got the effect of the 4 potions currently running in the background, so it knows there's 4 potions. So you can only spam this on potions that have an instant effect. So as I said earlier, the only way to actually increase your potions without increasing your alchemy is your luck skill. So as you can see, luck affects all skills, have an effect on everything you do. So this includes alchemy, but the actual benefit of luck on alchemy is for every 5 luck you have above 50 luck, because 50 is the baseline, you will then gain +2 into your alchemy all the way up to a maximum of 100 alchemy. So if you do have the max alchemy of 100, your luck does not come into a factor and you cannot get above 100. It maxes out at 100 regardless of your luck though. All right, diving into the apparatus and how the higher level ones can benefit you. You can bring this window up by pressing the button, whatever it says right here. So for PlayStation, it's R3, you press that and it'll bring up what they actually do. So when we'll start with the mortar and pedestal, it says use of mortar and pedestal combines 2 or more ingredients to create potions. Behind the scenes, another effect of actually getting a high level mortar and pedestal is it adds to your alchemy skills. So at novice equipment level, it gives you a 2.5 points bonus to your alchemy, whereas it gives you a 25 boost to your alchemy at master equipment level. Therefore, as that levels up, this also increases the pricing of your potions and increases the magnitude and duration of all the effects that your potions can provide. Moving down to the retort, this increases the magnitude and duration of all positive effects on your potions. So a retort will typically increase the magnitude of all positive effects by 5% with the novice equipment and all the way up to 50% on master equipment, and increase the duration of the effect by 10% at novice equipment and all the way up to 100% at master equipment. However, a retort never has any effect on poison or any negative effects of a poison. Moving down to the alembic, this decreases the magnitude and duration of negative side effects in potions. There are some quirks, however, with the alembic, and I'll talk you through that now. The alembic is actually supposed to decrease both the magnitude and duration of negative side effects by 20% at novice and all the way up to 200% at master equipment, which is written into the coding. However, in reality, a novice alembic may increase the magnitude and duration of a negative side effect by as much as 15%. Apprentice and higher quality alembics will always decrease negative side effects, but the magnitude and duration are never decreased below 1. So at expert quality alembic, it's sufficient to ensure that all negative side effects always have the magnitude and duration of 1. Upgrading to a master quality alembic causes no further improvement to that negative side effect. Alembics will typically increase both the magnitude and duration of poison, even though they're not supposed to as well. So the alembic is kind of weird on how it actually scales and improves the quality of your potions, but it definitely does, so it's worth getting that higher level. Now moving on to the calcinator, it says it increases the magnitude and duration of all effects, both positive and negative. So with this one, it typically increases both the magnitude and duration by 3.5% at novice equipment level and 35% at master. If the calcinator is used in combination with a retort and a calcinator, it will typically increase the magnitude of positive effects by 14% at novice equipment and 140% at master equipment. So as you can see, it's definitely worth getting these higher level apparatus to make better potions, especially if you want to dive into alchemy and use these throughout your game. Now, when it comes to actually finding these high level apparatus, so at level 1, obviously you can buy novice at vendors or find level 1s in dungeons. However, once you hit level 6, vendors will start selling apprentice level apparatus, and you can find them at level 5 in dungeons. Once you hit level 9, you will be able to find journeyman apparatus in dungeons, and level 14 you'll be able to start buying them. Once you hit level 13, you'll be able to start finding expert level apparatus in dungeons, and you can buy them at level 18. However, the quality master, you can never buy them at vendors, but you will be able to start finding them in dungeons at level 17. These alchemy apparatus are particularly found in conjurer or necromancy lairs, so they're a great place to start if you want to start trying to find them. And if you really want to start farming them, especially once you reach level 17, going for them master ranks, you can farm them in boss chests in these conjurer dungeons and necromancer dungeons, as the boss chants have a 25% chance of containing a random level piece of alchemy apparatus, and other containers in the dungeon have about a 10% chance of dropping these as well. When it comes to what piece you'll actually find in those boss chances, if you do, there's a 2 in 5 chance of it being a mortar and pedestal, and a 1 in 5 chance of it being one of the others, so the retort, alembic, or calcinator. So a great strategy if you want to farm these is save outside of a conjurer dungeon or a necromancer's dungeon before you enter. Make a hard save, go in, loot all the chests, and if you don't get anything you want, just reload to that save and you can go through again and try and get that piece of equipment that you're after. One of the best places to be doing this is Echo Caves, as this has 5 boss chests and some regular chests in the Echo Necromancer's chamber. So you do have a high chance of finding all the equipment you're after. A great method for your alchemy, if you do want to try and use this to make money as well, is you can buy everything off the vendor. If you're not into farming farms and going through all that, you can just buy everything off a vendor, make the potions and sell them back, as generally these ingredients are worth more in a potion. Obviously you don't want to buy the expensive stuff like Daedra Silk or any Daedra stuff, as they're worth a lot more money, but anything that's worth say less than 5 or 10 gold, you will be making money when you turn these into a potion, and you can sell them back at a bonus. All right, that's basically everything there is when it comes to alchemy. I hope this helped. If this did help you out, make sure you hit that sub button or like button. It really helps me out, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.